let's get into
Oh,
She-Hulk first. It's not let's just dive into
She-Hulk.
that real quick. Obviously, that's the season finale was a couple weeks ago. A lot of mixed feelings across the board for the
Oh yeah.
entirety of the season. So
Um,
who
I'll,
wants to
I'll
jump into that?
I'll do it. I'll do it. Honestly, I wasn't mad at it. It was a pretty good episode. Obviously, I'm glad they didn't go the route they went, and they made fun of going that route and making it a cliche. You know what I mean? Making Kevin Feige a freaking robot. That's hilarious. You know what I mean? Making
Right.
it's the Kevin. I thought that was pretty funny. And just like as a whole, it's interesting. They're definitely trying to say that they hear us and they understand
Mm-hmm.
where they're falling apart, like here and there and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, where the backlashes are coming through and the crazy negativity that they do receive, that's a little over the top. I'm glad that they brought that about, and it's again, and that's the whole reason why they did it, because there's so many fans out there that go a little too far and it's not necessary.
Right.
So as a whole, obviously the episode wasn't what I would have liked as a finale, because it's like, hey, this is, where's the rest of the story going? But She-Hulk is a very different character. She breaks the fourth wall, as we already said plenty of times that people know. And we got a different type of feel, and we have a different type of show. We have a different hero. Let's see where it goes from here. And hey, guess what? It was good to see Matt Murdock again and all suited up. I don't understand how he got to the Boondocks so easily. Obviously he wasn't. No one drove him there. I mean, like that, I don't get. But
I'm not even questioning
yeah,
anymore. He's
I
just
I
there.
just I just thought about it. I was just like,
He's just there.
My
he
man
just
was
he made
hopping
it there.
rooftops, bro.
What rooftops?
I don't know, but rooftops.
Invisible rooftops.
Maybe the trees. I'll give him that. He has been trained by ninjas. So, but
that
hey,
that that is true. That is true.
I don't think they fully hit the landing. You know what I mean? Like what they took off. But hey, I enjoyed what I enjoyed. I didn't enjoy everything, but hey, that's it. That's all I got. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see what they have next for her, but like, just that's about it.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I was just by the time it all
Mhm.
wrapped up, I'm just like, eh, that's something I can see you doing. That it makes sense with the character. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
makes sense with the character. Did they fully stick the landing? For me, no. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not mad at it either. It's her world. We're just living in it, quite literally. It's her world. We're literally living in it since she's, sentient and all that. She knows it's a show. She knows it's a comic book character. But yeah, I mean, they made fun of it, having the whole family thing like Fast and the Furious and all that,
Oh, I
and
don't even
having
want to
those
talk about that
vibes.
shit. Sorry.
Yeah, we're
I
not
forgot
gonna
all
dive.
about that part, honestly.
We're not gonna fully dive into it, but I mean, the introduction of Scar. I mean, a lot of it makes sense, but I wish some creative choices weren't made completely honest. I know there were some creative differences behind the scenes in terms of how they wanted to end the series. I know there was like 20 different endings that was written for the show, and this is the one we got out of all of those 20 finales or endings essentially. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. At this point, this is something we should expect from Marvel shows on Disney Plus. They don't almost always stick the landing for the most part. Has been their track record. Granted, they're listening. They're showing us that they're listening. They're using She-Hulk to tell us that they're listening to the feedback. They're trying to improve. They're trying to do better. Sometimes fans, like the show mentions and you mentioned, they do take it a little overboard, obviously, which is not cool. Um, but I don't know. I'm just there. I'm just meh. Whatever. I enjoyed the show for the most part, to be completely honest. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I'm just like, okay, whatever. This is what we got. I guess I'll take it. I got no other option but to take it, to be completely honest. But
Word.
that's where I'm at with the season finale of She-Hulk.
Hoosier, take us
Yeah, I mean,
away.
I mean, for me, I enjoyed the show. I had a fun time watching it. It wasn't mind blowing or anything. It just was a
Mm-hmm.
fun time to watch. You know what I mean? Like at the end of every episode, I enjoyed myself watching the episode. And so did my fiance as well. And she doesn't really know much about She-Hulk. We just both had fun watching it. And
Right.
like you guys said, a lot of it did make sense for the character. I do like that they again didn't go with the typical ending that most other shows and movies have gone with, and they, you know, messed around with it a little bit. I definitely think like I feel like the expectation now is like, especially with like off the heels of like, and you know, Infinity War and Endgame, everyone's like, oh, it's all downhill from here. Oh, this didn't hit. This didn't hit. I feel like this is the time for them to experiment with some stuff. But a lot of people, like, people argue Marvel's so formulaic, and then the moment every time Marvel tries to do something different, whether it be
It's
She-Hulk
backlash.
or
It's backlash.
Werewolf by Night, everyone's like, oh my god, what is this? And it's like, you guys, like, listen, we have like they should be able to just experiment, and they have the money now and the good faith that if it doesn't hit fully, maybe they can learn from that, and maybe they can take little bits and pieces of things that did work and then move them into future projects. So this is the time that they should be experimenting. And I definitely think like a character like She-Hulk is great to experiment with. Werewolf by Night was an interesting experimentation, which we'll get into. But for me, I enjoyed the show. I'm glad it was made. I want to see She-Hulk again. I very much enjoyed the actress and the character that we got. Was super happy to see Daredevil again.
Right. Well,
And
based on the ending, and then based on the
I'm
reports,
good with
I'm
it.
pretty sure
There were definitely things I would change, but I'm definitely happy we got what we got. What we got She-Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm cool with it.
I think all signs are pointing to her rumored appearance or inclusion in Captain America 4. Obviously, we're gonna have the leader there. We have Thunderbolt Ross in the movie confirmed already. So I think we'll get a lot more She-Hulk much sooner than what people may be expecting. Obviously, she's a big contender when it comes to a lot of the teams in Marvel in general. You know, ties to Fantastic Four, the Avengers,
A-Force.
The A-Force, you know what I mean? Connection Daredevil, Tony Stark, you know what I mean? She's all over the place. So, you know, seeing her bounce, it's cool. Yeah, we got the introduction to see her kind of bounce around now afterwards, and now that she's fully into this universe, it's going to be interesting to see how they play around her a little more.
Well, what it also just solidified for me, honestly, is they ruined Hulk for me completely. Bringing in Scar like that,
bro,
just completely like
I definitely. I'm never gonna say Hulk. I actually like Hulk. I'm not. I don't
look. I like Mark Ruffalo. I like what he's doing, but I don't like how they wrote him.
Right. But I will say creative choices on design of that character design. I hope they make some other alterations in the in the next appearance of his son.
In that appearance, yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking, but
dude, I see it. I'm just like, you're just adding more fuel to my fire. That's it.
They've made it a point that they are watching and listening. So I hope that they'll see that I don't think a single person liked that creative choice of haircut.
Listen, I get the fans putting two and two together. Granted, you know, back when we were on Sakaar, back in Thor Ragnarok, Stan Lee was the barber. Apparently, he was losing his skills. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that, you know, his hair is a little fucked up. It makes sense. But then again, Thor didn't walk out so bad. You know what I mean? After that hair,
he didn't.
I mean, so it's like, oh, can we really blame it on that? Or
maybe since he was a rage monster, maybe he didn't get a haircut.
Maybe
he was so out of control. Maybe he was so out of control. Stan Lee was like, nah, son. Nah, he's just with his little scissor hands. Nah, son. I ain't touching this dude.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, moving on.